Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick, and today we have set number 75974. This is the LEGO Overwatch Bastion, containing 602 pieces and retailing for $49.99 in the United States, and does have a vertically oriented box here, but with the Overwatch theme. If you're unfamiliar, this is the first Overwatch set I've gotten, but they all have two box fronts actually. I personally like the other one just because it's more striking, but here you have the more standard, typical LEGO set box look. And, you know, I don't know much about Overwatch, so sorry, I might not be the best person to review this. If you're only interested in the opinions of professional Overwatch or Overwatch enthusiasts, then you might want to click off this video now. But if you're looking for an opinion from just a LEGO fan, then you'll have one here. So, the Overwatch Bastion set has one instruction booklet, and this is actually a transforming set, but it's more of a, like, transformer style transformation. They give you, at the end of the instruction booklet, they give you several pages showing you how to transform it. It doesn't require any rebuilding though, so it is relatively easy to do, and I will show that in the review, and I'll do the whole process in front of you. But let's take a look at the Bastion model. So far out of the Overwatch sets, this is the second largest, released in 2019, and well, actually, I guess the second wave. But this was the second largest in the first wave of sets, but there was one that was the same size in the second wave. So still on the larger side. This is the only one, though, that is not minifigure scale. Bastion is about the height of a Big Fig, sort of. They did the Blizzard exclusive Omnic Bastion, like little display set that was like maybe that tallish. Approximately. I don't own it, so I can't bring it out to compare for you, but that is more so in scale with what you would expect from the game. But, you know, just looking at this one, as a standalone display piece, I think that it looks pretty cool. As not even a fan of the game, I think this is just a fun robot build. It does have your standard mech articulation. It can twist its arms there. It actually has a elbow joint, which you can move in and out, and you can move the arms up there. I maybe would have liked some sort of ability to move this back and forth, but you really can't. This up here also can rotate that little shoulder pad. Sticker there and there and there. I think everything except for one part here that looks like a decoration is a sticker, and I'll point out the print when we get there. The legs use these joints to allow them to move back and forth. I don't know if this should be there or if that's just they're doing that to kind of cover up the fact that they have to use these joints in order to have the proper amount of stability to keep him up. And he does have an additional joint at the foot but no knees, and you know, with that, you're able to get some sort of walking pose, like that. You have to lean his whole body back I think, in order for him to balance like that. But you can get him into sort of walking poses. Maybe nothing too extreme, but it can be done. Like that can be done too, where his foot is partially off the ground. So that's pretty good for mech articulation nowadays. There are a couple of panels up here, like this and this are separate panels that maybe you can move around to kind of get certain poses to work better. But they do have some good decoration on them, on both sections. And the feet are mostly symmetrical front to back. So if you have to rotate the foot in order to get it into a reasonable looking pose, it won't look too crazy if it's backwards. As far as the other arm goes, this arm is a little bit more standard, where he has a hand, and the hand actually rotates at the wrist, which is pretty nice, and his fingers will articulate separately. We'll show you his bird Ganymede a little bit later, but there is a jumper plate on his thumb that you can stick Ganymede onto, and you can move this up and down just like the other arm. The torso section really has nothing super special. These are hinged into place, but I think they're supposed to be at those angles. They're not supposed to be able to move around. And if we move to the back, that E54 sticker is on both sides, by the way. But if we move to the back, you can see this sort of turret or jetpack thing. This is part of the transformation, but in the actual game, I believe it does show up like this. Like while he's in this form, and you have that one printed Overwatch medallion 1x1 tile there, and this can hinge downwards if you wanted to, but that is the only print in this set, and the one on the bottom is not printed. If we do turn this down to the bottom, you can see there's a little bit of blue that shows through, which is a little bit out of place, but with the exception of those two parts, and I guess sort of this blue here, but with the exception of those, this thing is pretty color consistent, and no colors besides the blue look out of place at all. So they did a pretty good job with that. And from the back, it doesn't look too bad. You get some undersides of plates in certain places, but you know, it's not too extreme, and they cover up a little bit of it with that sand green tile, for example. And oh, there's a sticker there that I forgot to point out. But you know, it's overall pretty well done. But if we move on to my favorite feature of the set, the head can rotate around and up and down, and you can turn it backwards if you wanted to. You can see a hint of what the feature is here, but the coolest thing about this robot is that he has a light brick in the head. It just looks, I don't know, the way they have a trans blue 1x2 plate there, and when you illuminate the light brick, you can see right through the trans blue piece. Just the red shines through, so it just changes color instantly. It looks great, and honestly, having the ability to keep this pressed on display would look super cool. Of course, the batteries would run out, and you know, then it wouldn't, but I like that a lot. You can sort of see it shine through slightly through the sides, and from the back, obviously, when you're pressing it, you'll be able to see it unless you cover that up completely, but it's, I like that light brick feature a lot, and it sort of makes this set feel alive. But let's take a look at how we transform it. So I decided that I was not going to transform this until I was doing it for the first time in this review, just to see, you know, how easy it truly is. So we move those forward, following the instructions, and we're going to move these out. So I guess these do have some functionality to them, and I guess we rotate the legs all the way forward, like so, and then we're going to, let's see, we're going to push down on these so that it's like that, okay, and then we're going to pull the handle down, I guess, and then because we can't flop that whole thing, can we? Or are we supposed to? Let's see. Oh, that makes more sense. We're not supposed to do anything with that. We're supposed to rotate the body around, right? And then go like that. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. And then we're just simply going to plop his head right out. And this is our Bastion in turret form. And you know, that works pretty well. You're able to still adjust the angle of the turret there and get it into whatever position you want. And yeah, that actually was a pretty, let's see, does it say to do anything with the arms real quick, just to make it more proper? It says to rotate these around. I missed that part. To that. And then this is our final Bastion turret. There we go. Okay. So that took like 2 minutes to learn how to do it, and I'm sure it'll be way easier to do it a second time. So that's pretty simple. Yeah, I can get behind that amount of time. It does expose, when you remove the head, a little bit of blue on the top. Would have been nice to offer something to just fill that in, like just a separate assembly with maybe a Technic pin on the bottom, and just like a 2x2 tile or something that maybe extrudes just a little so that it's easy to pull out still. But other than that, this is a good looking transformation, and this is what the character does in game. I obviously don't have as much attachment to this particular form of Bastion as I don't play the game, so I don't know anything really about this. You can plop Ganymede up here on the shoulder too, if that's a thing that still happens when he's in turret mode. But yeah, this is cool, and I like the fact that it can transform. However, I'll probably be sticking with the robot version just because the head is my favorite part, and it gets removed here. I guess you could leave the head in if you really wanted to. Just stick it inside. If you can get it in the hole, there we go. But yeah, you could do that if you wanted to. It's a little bit weirder, but yeah. This is a cool transformation. Let's take a quick close-up look at Ganymede. And it's a pretty simple build, but they did do it brick built, which I think is just kind of cool that they were able to pull this off. It looks reasonably similar to what it's supposed to. It looks like a bird. It does have the beak there with one of those pyramid tiles in tan, and which was a new part for this season. And it does have these 1x1 brackets in this light yellow color, which is kind of cool. It works pretty well, and it just attaches to a stud. I guess you could attach it to a second stud if you wanted to attach it by the tail, but yeah, it's a shame that they couldn't cover up this stud at the top. That would have been nice maybe, but other than that, it's a good looking way to put this guy together. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with this Overwatch Bastion, and I'm not an Overwatch fan, so I think unless there's something incredibly inaccurate about this, which just based on looking on a picture of the character, it looks pretty reasonable to me, at least, especially for something that can transform between the two forms. So I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it. I assume, at least, unless unless there's something that I'm missing, that this would be a pretty satisfying set for any fans of the Overwatch game. So in that regard, I think that it's a pretty solid thing here, and overall, I'm pretty happy that I was able to grab this on clearance. I guess the real question is this worth $50? And I don't know. I guess part count would suggest yes. I think maybe 50 is a little bit too steep, partially based on the fact that it doesn't include any minifigures. I guess I don't know. There's really nothing too crazy exclusive in this set. The stickers, obviously, are only here. But other than that, there's, like, this piece here is exclusive to this set, but that's it so far. And, that's not a ridiculous recolor for... it's nice to get that as a recolor, but I imagine it'll probably come in another set eventually. So you likely could build this yourself if you really wanted to, without buying the set. Maybe not in the right colors, but you could get something close to this. So if you're not an Overwatch fan, do you have to buy this set? Definitely don't have to, but I don't know. If you see this on sale for $40 or less, maybe, then I would recommend this to people who are just fans of mechs and robots. It's a cool thing for sure, but like something that I'm happy to have, but I don't think it's a must-have set for every LEGO collector. But still praise for the set. I like this a lot, but it's just it just kind of is what it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're not a fan of the character, then there's not too much to draw you in here. Aside from a cool robot build that transforms into a turret. If that sounds cool to you, you'll like this. If it doesn't sound cool to you, then you might as well pass. So, hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.